Welcome back to the Papa Mate channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're talking about swingers. And no, my friends, we're not talking about a jungle gym or a playset. We're talking about swingers. A little while ago, we talked about the odd and confusing world of poly relationships, and we also tried to do a video on foot stuff. Can't talk about that. It's a whole big thing, but we have the uncensored video up on my Patreon. Check that out. Well, that's far from the only unique relationship structure out there for people who want to spice things up in their lives, right? You know, there's other avenues that you can go down besides poly or furry, right? And today we're having to dust off the track again and skip down the yellow brick road, as they say, because today we're going to educate you, our lovely viewers, about swinging, which is similar to being poly in a sense that you have multiple romantic partners. However, there are many key differences. And yes, this is an educational video and a comedy video, so please don't just strike this down. Just know you could have had feet. The beautiful world of feet, but I digress. Today's video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Everyone has habits they need to break, but breaking them can be hard. So why don't you let Fume help? Fume is not a vape, and it's not an e-cig. It's just flavored air, which means you can use Fume anywhere because there's no vapor, no nicotine, and no toxic chemicals. And on top of that, Fume is an award-winning device that puts you on the path toward being free from bad habits. Fume has tasty flavors like crisp mint, spearmint ice, and cinnamon heart to keep you company while you're building better habits. Fume is also there when you're feeling anxious. Calm down with the satisfying snaps and clicks of the device whenever you need to. Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. If you're ready to try it yourself, now's the time. For a limited time, if you order a journey pack using my code PAPAMEAT, you'll get a free Fume topper and awesome accessory to level up your experience. So click the link at tryfume.com/PapaMeat or scan the QR code on screen to get yours today. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. As it turns out, there's a whole other world to uncover within this lifestyle, from secret codes to lavish swinger resorts and parties. Before we get into it, some of you may be wondering what exactly is swinging. Hunter, sit me down as if I was a toddler and I'm bouncing on your knee and you just tell me about swinging. All right, I will. Swinging is when a couple opens up their relationship to outside fun partners. Can we just say sex or no?
I think, yeah.
You think so? All right.
Just say fun time in bed.
Sometimes the purpose of reinvigorating their fun time in bed lives with other people, when things, I'll just say sex. Sometimes the purpose of reinvigorating their sex lives when things get a bit stale. Where poly couples have full-on emotional relationships with multiple people, swinging is often more about the physical connection, right? I don't really care about your emotions. I just want to text you on an app and then we meet up and make love in a bathroom. It's not always a bathroom, but it's a little more lustful, all right? Even though I want to say, I think poly people feel like they're above it. I feel like swingers are very just surface level.
Yeah. I
feel like they're just honest. I'm not trying to glorify anything. I'm just saying that I think they're just like, listen, what are we doing? Are we doing this thing or not? HQ says it's okay. The wife's out the window like this.
Most of the times it's the husband.
Yeah, exactly. Go on. Fill her up. I'm kidding. You know how creepy it'd be? Like slap your wife's ass knowing, all right, you go out there and have fun. And get in there and a guy yells out, fill her up! I need 40 on 2! For many couples, this is something that is participated as a couple rather than an act that is totally separate. And typically, people like to blame modern society for its heightened levels of promiscuity. They might be surprised to find out that some of the earliest forms of swinging took place back as far as 1940s between World War II Air Force pilots. Bet you didn't realize you tuned into the History Channel, did you? Did you think that was going to happen today? I didn't think so. As Air Force pilots had some of the highest casualty rates, they formed close bonds with each other and their families, and according to some, quote, they shared each other as kind of a tribal bonding ritual, with tactic understanding that the 2/3 of the husbands who survived would look after the widows. Listen, Samuel, come on over here. Sam, if I die over the Gulf of Mexico, I want you to clean my wife's pipes. Yes, sir. Aye, aye, Captain.
Is that why Iceman and Maverick were so close?
That is why Iceman and Maverick. That's why Top Gun is such a sexually charged movie. Other pilots that took part in wars admitted that this was also the case, with one explaining that partner swapping during the Vietnam War was seen as normal. Partner swapping is in like the people they had sex with over in Vietnam, or when they got back from Vietnam, they're just like, what's your name, Rosemary? It's a beautiful name.
That's what I think it is. Hey, your husband
I want you to meet David. Rosemary, hi, David. You know what I mean? I want to imagine like the one couple that's like not swingers at that barbecue when they get back. Everybody's just like Chinese finger trapping each other over there. You're like, I'd feel kind of left out, wouldn't you?
No, that's- I
no one
bring
came
it
up
up.
to me and asked. You're like, well, I think we're the ugly ducklings at the party.
Well, I talked to my wife. You want to get into swinging?
Oh, so you're like, you want to get in immediately.
Yeah, if I'm the only one there not
You want to
doing
be
it.
passed around like a fruit salad, sweetheart? Would you mind if I got my salad tossed, sweetheart? You never want us to have any fun. I'm in hell. Swinging became even more widespread during the free love movement in the 60s, which challenged the social norms surrounding traditional marriages and sexuality. Just like poly relationships, there's an obnoxious amount of terminology in the world of swinging, and here are some notable ones, my friends. We have play. Anything sexual done between swingers and their partners. That's just a little bit of play. You know, little Simon Says, you know, we're just playing. We're playing.
Oh, so if I tell my wife, hey, I'm going to go play magic with the boys.
I'm going to go play with Jared. You playing Warhammer with him? Yeah. We're playing. Come back just fucking sweating, exhausted. I need to wash my hands. I'm gonna go play, and the first thing he comes back and says, I need to wash my hands, I think he might have been dirt digging a little bit, all right? Or we have soft swap, trading partners for anything besides full-on intercourse, like flirting, kissing, or oral sex. This is the opposite of full swap. So soft swapping is when you flirt, you're kissing, or like just somebody sucking your cock. that feels like a full swap. Am I wrong? No. I ate her asshole out. She ate my asshole out. We're soft swapping.
That's third base. It's not.
I mean, it's a home run.
That's why those Mormons were cool with it, with soft swapping.
Would soaking be soft swapping? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, you're talking. I see. Because they're just like, well, they're not really doing anything because it's like, yeah, he's like putting his thumb in my ass, but it's nothing really else. So they're just like, sure, babe, sure. Hey, God loves you. I love you, baby. Because in the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they were saying that they would all just go to the same house and they would just be like a swingers party.
Yeah.
Where you're all fucking in the same house, right? So do you think like a guy sitting there and he's just like talking to another guy just casually? He's like, no, I got the V8 and I'm happy with it. And then the other one's like, whatever. Is it as casual as this where he's just like, she's wild. You'd almost think I put a V8 in her. She goes all night. You want to get in there? You want to tag team? You just want to soft swap? All right, you just want to soft swap? That's fine. She eats ass real good. Do you think it's as casual as that? It's gotta be.
It's like just showing up, you're having a party and there's like rooms.
The same way that you ask for someone to eat your asshole out is the same way you've been like, ooh, pigs and blanket. Like finger snacks. Uh-oh, someone had sugar-free Sprite. I love that. Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's just like somebody like, hello? Next, you have closed door swinging, which is couples that swing together, but in separate rooms. This is more common with people new to the scene that can't handle witnessing their partner with another person. As open door swinging would be the opposite, where they're just like, I want to see all of it. Good for you. Me holding ankles. Whoa. That's me holding my own ankles. Whoa. There's also hot wife, when a married woman has consent from her husband to swing while the man chooses not to. That sounds just, oh, I guess not. That sounds like a, but then there's holding, which is probably the most popular terminology of all this, being a man who takes pleasure in seeing his wife having sex with another man, sometimes as a form of humiliation. Humiliation kinks are so fascinating to me. Do you think every kink is a form of humiliation?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Name one that's not.
Are you saying the humiliation's on you?
I'm wondering if every kink is a form of humiliation. You could be the one who's just like, I like humiliating, I guess, my partner, or I like to be humiliated. I'm just saying that I'm wondering if a kink is always like humiliation driven.
Feet. I don't think feet's humiliating.
You don't think so?
No. How so? How would it be humiliating?
Well, I think that one, if you had like a big duck feet and you're like, I like when people, you know, Cinnabon the top of my feet. Is that not you being like, look how gross my feet are?
I mean, I guess that could be.
And then also you getting excited over a non-conventional thing. Is that not humiliating in a sense to where it's like a secret and it's like, ooh. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just bringing up the question because it feels like a lot of these things are based in just like a form of humiliation. Almost the same kind of like thrill as like, I don't want to get caught or that kind of stuff. I don't know, just interesting. Then there's bareback, which is intercourse without a condom. I mean, I feel like everybody. I have so much swinger. I'm like, bareback, obviously, right, guys? There's D&D free, which you would think is Dungeons and Dragons, but unfortunately it's not. It's when someone is clean of all diseases and drugs. There's parallel play. Two swinger couples having intercourse in the same room, not swapping partners, but just being in the same room. That's like a camping trip thing. You guys want just one tent?
That's like an orgy. So it's like they're.
Yeah, but I thought an orgy is you're going around with everybody.
I mean, it can be.
Because in this one, in parallel play, it's literally, I mean, side by side.
What it is the room is like an orgy room, but they're just in it, not tasting either treats or appetizers.
Yeah, exactly. They're not getting their pigs in blankets and all that stuff. Yeah.
They're doing it for the social aspect and like
they just like go looking around, sweat like a hog. The guy likes doing that because he likes having the deer in the headlights thing. Who touched my foot? That's what I keep saying. Who touched my foot? My fat ass rolling around like the bald dude from Dune. Who touched my foot? She's like, stop it. I'm like, I kind of want to get some. Why am I kind of want to get some parallel play in now, dude? And of course, there is the one and only. Again, I feel like this is going to be a reoccurring thing when we talk about these, but there is the unicorn, which is just a single female.
Yeah, everybody wants a unicorn at a swingers party.
Yeah. Whoa, look at her. She's beautiful. She's like standing by like a chili bowl.
Oh, chili.
Yeah. In movies and stuff, they make swinger parties and like orgies and stuff look so cool. You know how greasy that is? It's like realistically going to a strip club. Strip clubs are greasy, dude. I think I've been like maybe 2 in my life, and every time it's never good. I'm not saying that there isn't good ones. I'm just saying that like at a swinger thing, if it's like some big old people from the Midwest, like if I was throwing one, it'd be like BYOB, and people were like bringing like food. There would literally probably be pigs in blankets there, like a thing, like a crock pot of chili, and in between when you were gassing them. Especially during the winter months. Come on, dude.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be one stinky orgy.
Oh, it always is. You try to light candles and they're just like, blow them out. Let the stink fester. And many people struggle to imagine why anyone would ever enter this type of lifestyle. But according to those who have, it's benefited their lives greatly. So let's talk about the benefits of swinging. Some couples that have been together for many years find that their lives have become very routine, and some believe that opening themselves up to the unique arrangement has added a level of adventure and excitement that relit the spark in their relationship, which I do think. I can see people coming to that conclusion. I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, I love you. But
I love you, but I'm bored. Like that's like what, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think the majority of swingers have kids?
Well, maybe. I was gonna say it's either people who just never had kids, or it's older people and the kids have left the nest.
See, that's what, because I don't know if we touch on this in the document, but one thing I was thinking is if you have been like a nuclear family kind of vibe your whole life, your kids have gone out and stuff, you've been married to this one for 50 years. I heard senior citizens homes, whatever, brutal. Well, I heard that's where they do it. They're just like, I don't fucking care. I suck and anything. That's what I heard. I heard that it's just like grease traps. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Big old stinky racist grease traps. That's what they are. They're swapping and doing whatever they can. It's like heaven before heaven. That's what they're saying. And others believe that it helped them become closer and to trust each other more, as engaging in swinger lifestyle takes an ample communication and exploration of each other's boundaries, right? And with any non-traditional relationship structure, however, there are bound to be many negatives, as it takes a special type of person to adjust to seeing your partner entangled with someone else. So, envy is a major problem. As anyone can imagine, seeing your partner sleeping with another person can immediately lead to relationship-shattering jealousy if someone is not prepared to handle it. Which, here's a nice little quote. It's gonna be etched up in a gold plate, embedded into a wall. It's all fun and games until someone makes your partner moan in a way you never could. It's true, dude.
Yeah, that's...
You could hear it too. It's like a deer call or something in the woods. You see hunters that are doing like that. Whistle. That's the deer in the headlights thing. You're just like, I know that tone, but it sounds different to me. I've never heard that pitch before.
The worst too would be like if you're the first guy who's done. You're just sitting there eating chili, like, I want to join back in.
You're looking around. Now you're the fat kid in like dodgeball, whatever. You're like, dude, you're just gonna get hit first. Look at you, dude. You're like a giant walking target. And then you feel bad too, because if you're on these circles, you're just like, yeah, she had sex with them. And everyone's like, ew. That's the kind of guy I'd be, dude. I can see it. Also, the jealousy thing, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I think women would get jealous. I just feel like men's ape brains would make it so much worse. Was it dick bigger than mine?
Yeah.
Was his dink bigger than mine? You were sunk in his dink. Some people will make the mistake of forcing themselves into this lifestyle just to appease their partner who feels the relationship is lacking. And some forums and websites even advise husbands on how to convince their wives how to let them swing. He's like, so this is what you do. It's like a cooking show kind of thing for guys where they're just like, you want to do this.
I was thinking more like WikiHow.
Yeah, like a WikiHow, Ask Jeeves kind of meme, whatever. Hey, Jeeves. One-sided swinging has a tendency to create animosity between the couple. Of course, well, yeah, dude. Isn't this great? No. I'm an L. And because there's negative stigma around swinging, these people tend to hide this information from their peers for fear of judgment, which can make things extra difficult. That's true, actually. I don't think I've known anybody who's just like, yeah, I'm a swinger.
Well, yeah, they kind of test you.
Yeah, swinging, man. Those are crazy, right? And you're like, yeah, it is, yeah. Probably pretty fun, though, huh? You're like, maybe. I don't know. I remember. I bet it is. It's really, really cool. If you were swinging, would you just be like, you wouldn't give a fuck, or would you be nervous to tell people?
I'd be like, yeah, I swing.
Really?
Want to join?
Yeah, join us. Dude, I'm kidding. We're not like that. We're really down to earth. Trying to be like a going, yeah, no, I just go in there solo. You're like, I don't know why, which this may be ignorant of me to say, or rude, but if it's a couple and you're into it, I mean, I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. But I don't know, it feels so much weirder if a guy is single and he's like going into these places. Hey, tag me. Tag me. Ah. Selfish lovers. Soft swap. He's like hitting his back with a towel. Soft swap. Get the f out of here, Greg. Ah. We're all having fun, aren't we? We're swingers. Going to like a naked guy. Dude, you look insane tonight. If you were swinging, Nick, that's the guy I want you to be. There's gonna be one swinger who's just like, how dare you, in the comments. It is perfectly normal for one man to show up to a swinger's party. Many people on Reddit have ranted about how swinging has ruined their marriage, like one man who used it as a last-ditch effort to save his marriage. In this post, a husband explains how after 10 years of marriage, he offered the idea of swinging to his wife after she was caught flirting with other men. Desperate, the husband agreed to it as they had 5 children together and he didn't want to throw everything away. They began going to swinger parties, but soon enough, it was only the wife who was meeting new people. She's just like, do something with your hair. He's like this? Or, but does that look good? Or I don't know. She's like, I don't. She's just getting fucking railed. I don't know. I'm busy. I want to go home. So I do the baby thing where your feet are together like that, like baby. I'd be in front of him with my little pig cock sitting there. I want to go home. We're not having fun. No one wants to play with me. And the Redditor posts about how he's been miserable for 3 years, updating the post 2 weeks later to reveal that she had eventually left him after he explained that non-monogamy was not possible for him. She later would end things by telling him, quote, well, I'd still be interested in being play friends with you. We can have some fun occasionally. That's a fucking dagger to the heart, dude. I remember when we went to the carnival together. That'd be brutal. If you've been 10 years, I'd be like, dude, I've ridden the ride. I got an idea of it.
I feel like after a while, you'd be like, man, I miss that.
Probably emotionally, I would assume so. You'd be like, I miss the way she smells. I'm just getting sad. I'm like, poor guy. God, that's brutal. One of the most fascinating parts of the swinger lifestyle is the bizarre way that people signal to each other that they are a part of it. This is mostly to avoid judgment or potential awkward encounters with people who are incorrectly identified as swingers, which I love. I love the idea that there's like a third baseman coach. Some guy's like across the bar and he like looks at you and he's just like, you know how sick it would be to catch somebody in doing that though? It'd be like aliens communicating. So instead of like, instead it'd be like 2 guys just being like, the other guy's like,
and then you join in.
And yeah, and I start doing this. This is all like a Red Robin.
What's that?
This is all like a Red Robin.
Oh, a Red Robin, yeah, dining, yeah.
So funny. Such a funny joke. So let's get into swinger codes, dude. One of the most popular examples that most people know of is the upside down pineapple. I'll be honest, I've never heard of that before in my life. Don't know what that is. Those who want to advertise that they are comfortable and open to swinging would display this type of decor on their clothes or even the doors of their cruise ship.
Put a little magnet, pineapple.
Now that I know this stuff, I feel like I'm gonna see it way more. That doesn't seem too loud, right?
No.
I've seen people have like tropical dresses or whatever, or like Hawaiian shirts, but now I'm gonna be like, fucking upside down pineapples, dude.
I was gonna say now, yeah, if you see an upside down pineapple shirt.
Hello. Ask you a question. People at grocery stores would sometimes place a pineapple upside down in their cart as a way to help them find new partners discreetly while going about their day, which I gotta tell you, that's some dirty dog activity. You can't even when I get groceries, I have to see if I can find somebody.
Oh, so there's someone scouting in the produce section.
desperate effort. Ma'am! Ma'am! A more obscure signal is through the use of specific garden plants known as pampas grass. Having this in your yard is meant to signal to your neighbor that you're a swinger, a fact that many people attribute to the drastic drop in sales of plant nurseries. The same is said for people that use white landscaping rocks on their lawn, as well as pink lawn flamingos and garden gnomes. Dude, there's so many old ladies who are just like, what? No! Hera, get your gun! People who wear a black ring on their hand while out in public are also said to be advertising their interest in swinging. In a retirement complex in Florida, residents have been accused of displaying colored loofahs on their cars to signal to others what level of swinging they are interested in, which is so funny because that was the same that people did with, like, remember the bracelet thing back in the day? You would like go and it's like the things you haven't done, and then you would, if you had done it, you would wear it. So some people would have all of them.
Yeah.
Not like the Live Strong ones, but they were like thinner. I don't know.
Okay, I was thinking of the Live Strong ones.
No, he just had testicular cancer, and he's actually a cheat. He did steroids. Lance Armstrong, you're my hero! Info guides have made the rounds, supposedly explaining what each colored loofah means. There it goes. If you want some old strange pussy, there it is.
You want me to read them?
Sure.
White is novice and beginner. Red is voyeurs, people who like to watch. Pink is soft swap. Blue is the lowest level of full swap. Yellow's mid-level swap. Black full swap. And turquoise is bisexual.
I love that black is just like, we're going to the funeral. I want to see a guy with like a red loofah and he has like binoculars and he's just like, I like to watch. That's all I want to do. People who have worked at these retirement homes deny this though, stating that they use it to actually help them find their cars because all retirees drive similar cars, which is also true. Everyone drives like a Lincoln or a Mercury. That's all they drive. Many believe that this is a myth and there's no real proof that any of this is based in reality. They're all atheists. They're all atheist cowards. A big part of the swinger lifestyle is attending swinger parties, which are essentially social gatherings where the whole purpose is for couples to engage in sexual activity with other participants, right? And one of the more notable ones referred to as Scarlet Ranch. It's like the Scarlet Rot, but it's just a full-blown farm. Scarlet Ranch is a private, upscale event that takes place in Littleton, Colorado at the Squirrel Creek Lodge. Dude, you're not catching me swinging at a place in the Squirrel Creek Lodge. Sorry. You going to the Squirrel? You going to Squirrel Creek this weekend? You going to Squirrel Creek this weekend? I had a stroke there a little bit. Oops. Up to 2,000 guests attend weekly in order to socialize, take in the upscale ambiance, and enjoy a fine dining experience. It features multiple group play areas as well as swings, St. Andrew's crosses, spanking benches, and special events like foam parties. Also, just want to say, I did say 2,000 a week.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A week, Nick. Yeah, it's a lot. People are expected to dress nicely and provide their own drinks.
BYOB.
BYOB, what'd I say? And see, we're not bringing up the chili, but I think that chili, the crock pot thing, is definitely not totally out of reach, right?
Definitely. It's on the table.
Yeah, of course it is. And not all swinger events are as glamorous as Scarlet Ranch, yet some people will travel long distances to attend them. There are other types of swinger parties known as hotel takeovers. These are events where people rent out an entire hotel in order to turn it into a giant swingers club for an entire weekend, often with their own themes. I want to have a fucking list of the hotels that allow this, so I will never step foot in one. I know that every hotel's probably just like caked in blood and piss and all that stuff. I don't want to know that a swingers party happened. That's too much.
Yeah.
Right? That's like seeing the cow get killed and then eating a hamburger. Trying to get some sleep, but your ear against the pillow instead of like a seashell with the ocean sounds. It's just like moaning and guys farting and coming, and you're just like, I wouldn't be able to sleep in there. It would be too much in my head, I think.
It'd be like a ghost. I don't know if I treat it like a ghost story.
Yeah, this place is haunted. After all this happens, everything turns into the Overlook Hotel. Right this way. Let me help you back to your room. One swinger urban myth is the concept of key parties, where multiple male partners would place their house keys in a bowl after arriving at a place. On the way out, the female partners would pick a random pair to determine who they would go home with. And some swinger parties can result in some particularly bizarre and uncomfortable stories. So let's talk about the 2018 Swingers Ball Brawl.
Brawl.
A fight broke out. A naked fight. During a masquerade ball themed swingers event, a man named David Tillier gets into a physical altercation with another attendees. 50-year-old John Watson had approached Tillier's girlfriend, Evelyn, and asked if she could, quote, put on his sock. She began helping him, which confused and enraged Tillier, believing that he was trying to hit on his girlfriend. He immediately headbutted and struck him several times, yelling, what sort of man needs help putting on a sock? Tillier pushed him into a toilet, but at one point fell back and slammed his head on the sink. He continued to berate him until being ejected from the club. Both men were taken to a hospital. Later, Watson explained that he had arthritis and just needed help putting on his socks. Perhaps he thought that this was some sort of bizarre swinger code and took offense to it, I'm not sure. That brings up
an interesting question of why would someone be so quick to just be like, you flirting with my girl? Fully torqued and everyone's naked. You flirting with her, bro? Maybe he was intimidated by his size.
Oh, maybe he has legs spread open. Put my sock on.
Come on, sweetheart. She's like going down. It's like hitting her forehead. She's like, oh, you got big feet. He's like, thanks. Yeah, they are big. I got bunions. They hurt my toes. According to Tillier, he only came to the club to observe rather than participate. I think he just wanted to fight.
Yeah.
He just pissed off. Also, I think he was going there. He's like, I'm going to go there, but I'm not participating. She's like, fine, dude. Let me have fun.
They both were just watching?
Yeah, like they were both just watching. We just want to observe. Even during the peak of COVID-19 pandemic, people were rushing over to swinger parties to get their fill. In one instance, this led to 41 people getting infected in 2020. In New Orleans, of course, a giant swinger party was hosted by a company called Naughty Events. So gross, dude. Which tried to organize a party while following all the COVID restrictions at the same time, aka impossible. The owner, Bob Hannaford, claimed that there were extensive tests for all guests and social distancing while in lines. Once you get in there, you're going to be inside someone. Am I wrong?
I'm just watching.
I'm just watching over here, playing with my pud.
With my mask on.
Yeah, with my mask on.
And one of those like plastic shields.
Yeah, the plastic visor just all over it. He's like, looking like Wrigley trying to escape the alien. They had color-coded wristbands to indicate who had antibodies and were not contagious, as well as others for people who tested negative. He even decided to not install a dance floor in order to keep people from getting too close. What does that mean? You're at a swingers party. I don't want you guys, hey, we'll do the cha-cha another time, but you can still clap your hands. To nobody's surprise, the 5-day event led to tons of people testing positive for COVID and about 41 out of 300 people attending. Honestly, he did that's not bad.
300 people came to this thing.
Yeah, dude, of course 300 people, they're just like, listen, I'll die. I want it, I will die.
This sounds like the, at Burning Man, they have an orgy tent.
Do they still?
Yeah, my buddy was telling me like, man, you gotta try it.
Did your buddy did it? He did
He
it?
goes every year.
He goes to the tent every year?
Yeah.
Hey, more power to him. Power to the people. There are many active subreddits for those in the swinger community that want to share their experiences going to swinger parties and clubs. Here's just a little post I want to read. We went to a swinger motel. They have an indoor pool and hot tubs. We, wife and friend couple, got into the hot tub with 2 other couples there already. The guy gets out of the pool, walks over and sits on the edge of the hot tub. He then proceeds to off about 2 feet from one person's shoulder, with his junk hanging out into the water. While doing this, he looked at each person by staring into their eyes. It's one thing to sit in a corner off to the side, another to jack off into the water right over somebody's shoulder. I like how he's just like, listen, buddy, sit quietly in the corner and do that, like all the normal people. There's like 7 other guys over there. You ever see the movie Waterworld? Yeah, with Kevin Costner on the water. We're making chunky ramen. Seahorses.
I don't like chunky ramen.
So gross. Another post says, a guy couldn't get it up. Stormed out and sat in his truck crying. He didn't get an invite to the next house party. I feel bad for that guy. Oh, fuck. He goes up to his truck. Revving his fucking car. Yeah, exactly. To his dashboard. Went to a mass costume party and got went to a mass costume party and got gangbanged. I just want to see her dad just read this and be like, what did I do wrong? One guy kept referring to me a nickname for when I was younger. The next day, I got a message from a family member who I hadn't spoken to in years, who wanted to catch up, and he said the same nickname, and I realized it was him. Little incest gang. You like incest? Woo! Listen, entering the swinger lifestyle is not for the faint of heart, my friends. Much like with poly relationships, it's something that requires a lot of research and communication. Otherwise, you might end up getting hurt. Guys, we appreciate you so much for hanging out and watching this one with us. Until next time, stay swinging. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I like that.
You like that?
That was a good one.